Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared.
Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a very special, totally not normal content episode for you. And I'm here with Marc from a podcast on Elm Street. Welcome, Marc.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for doing this with me. Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, I'm just so excited. Like, you don't have to thank me. I'm just so happy that we're doing this.
Me too. I just want to say you're one of the only people to humor me when I want to talk about this particular subject. And this subject is music. Mm-hmm. Very different from both of our normal content.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, like, we both are very passionate with horror and movies in general, but we have other passions too. And it's fun to talk about them.
Totally. I agree. And I feel like this is one of those things, I already told you this, but it's like one of these things that I usually don't feel so passionate about something that I like want to talk about and record it. But every once in a while I come across one of these things. Mm-hmm. And right now it is music for me. And so I'm like just so excited to, I don't know, just wing it because we don't really have like a plan for this.
Yeah.
But very excited. And I also keep thinking in my head, like, I don't know why. I don't know how you would come across this episode if you don't listen to our podcasts. But just in case somebody randomly stumbles upon this episode, Marc, why don't you tell the people about your podcast and what you do?
Right. Well, like Tawny said, I am co-host of a podcast on Elm Street. Myself and my good friend Brooke, we record a weekly episode on a different horror movie each week. We started off trying to do like not so popular movies and trying to get their name out there, but we've kind of shifted our focus and like we've started doing a little bit more of the mainstream stuff and like the newer releases and whatnot. But we just have a good time with it. We do a villain face-off every month or every couple months, which we have a lot of fun with. But yeah, you can find us on any of your favorite podcatchers. We're on YouTube. Very active on Instagram and whatnot too. So if any of your listeners want to reach out to us, we are readily available for any types of conversations.
Do you guys have a plan for, do you have like a theme for February?
No, we're just doing whatever the fuck we want.
Okay.
But we're like, normally we end a month with a villain face off, but we're starting a month with one this month. So we recorded 13 Ghosts.
Right.
And dropped that episode, and I picked the Jackal for our villain face-off, and then Brooke. Next week we're doing Cabin in the Woods, and Brooke's picking one of the monsters from that movie, and we're gonna kind of face them off and see how it goes. Yeah.
God, I love 13 Ghosts. Can I just say that?
Yeah,
I love it.
I enjoyed it much more than Brooke did, without spoiling our episode, but
okay.
It just came out in time where like there was that, and then there was Ghost Ship, which was directed by the same guy, Steve Beck, and then like we had The Haunting. Like, just it was like a resurgence of like paranormal movies that kind of came out at that time.
Yeah. Love 13 Ghosts. I saw it recently and I was like, damn, this really holds up, but I know not everybody feels that way. So but I'm like, I don't know, this is great. Matthew Lillard, you can't beat it.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you're not catching on, this will be posted on our podcast, so you probably should know, but I also have a horror movie review podcast. I'm one half of Two Chicks and a Horror Flick with Felicia, and that's what we do. So, yeah. But we're here to talk about some other shit. But first, before we get into all that, Marc, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Hops and Robbers Grapefruit IPA tonight.
Okay.
If you don't like the flavor of grapefruit, I'd highly recommend avoiding this one.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Not for me. I don't like grapefruit. Do you usually like IPAs?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your go-to?
Generally, yeah. I don't like the overly hoppy taste, so it's got to be like a what's the BU IBUs, I guess. Like I don't like a high IBU on it.
Okay.
But,
yeah. I don't really like IPAs in general, but I like a very fresh, like summery, what do they call them? Like juicy IPAs.
Like a Radler almost.
Yeah, I do like, there's a grapefruit Radler. I don't know if you've had that. The name is escaping me, but it's good. Yeah. Low percentage, but yeah. Anyway, I got some whiskey on deck. Nice. I meant to bring the bottle in here, but I didn't. I think it's called Michter's.
Okay.
I'd never tried it, but my coworker who really likes bourbon suggested it to me. But it's like a higher price point. It's like a $50 bottle. So I was like
mid-shelf.
Nah. Yeah, mid-shelf, not high, not top shelf. But I was like, Buffalo Trace is like $25. Like it's very cheap. But I got it for my birthday bottle of bourbon, and it is very good. And I just want to say also again, this isn't just whiskey, because I did this on our episode that we did the Stabbies, I think, right? And people were like, Jesus Christ, it's not all whiskey. I put a little bit of ginger ale in there. Anyway, but okay, so that's what we've been drinking. What have you been watching? Anything of note? Are you watching The Last of Us? I wanted to ask you this.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
We're actually missing the episode tonight to record this, but yeah, I'm completely caught up. I love it. I think they're doing a really, really good job with it. I don't know if you've played the game or not. But
I have only a little bit though. I only got like halfway through.
Okay.
I just sucked at the gameplay, so I had to like just put it down. So like this last episode, the third episode, like I don't remember any of that. So I don't know if I didn't get as far as I thought I got. I don't know.
They don't go as in depth in the game with Frank and Bill's story.
Okay.
Like it's a very, very low key story in the game. Like, they definitely went into way more detail in this episode.
Did you finish it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you played the second one?
No.
Okay.
No, not yet. That is something I'm very upset at myself about.
I mean, still can't.
Oh yeah, I'm going to definitely. Because I'm replaying the first one right now. Not quite following along with the show, but after watching the show, I was like, fuck, I need to replay this.
Yeah. Oh God. It's so, from what I remember, which is not a lot, they're doing a real fucking good job of matching it. Yeah. And I'm stoked.
Me too. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes.
I'm sorry. I commandeered that. What else? Is there anything else of note that you've been watching?
I'm not a big TV show person. I find it very hard to stick with a TV show. So like, The Last of Us is my main show right now. I just watched The Lair on Shudder. I watched that this morning. It was directed by Neil Marshall, who did The Descent. I didn't like it. Very, very disappointed because The Descent's one of my favorite horror movies.
Yeah, sad.
So I was super pumped for this one, and it was kind of just dog shit. But what else am I watching? I'm doing like a franchise watch of Terminator, which is just
fun.
Just been fun. Yeah, I like doing franchise watches. I don't know. They get like, if it's a long one, it gets tough because like I just did Halloween, and that was a fucking chore because some of those movies get really bad, and there's like 11 movies. So
my God,
if not more. But what about you? What are you watching?
I've just finished Skinamarink like yesterday morning.
What are your thoughts on that?
I was not super impressed. I was really kind of stoked, because people were really making a big deal. And it was all right. I mean, it wasn't good. The thing is that was all right was the idea. I feel like they'd had a really good idea, and it felt very uncanny in the way that I was like, Jesus Christ, this is like my childhood experience. You know what I mean? Like, kind of. From the VHS playing, the cartoons, and just the atmosphere of that, I felt like it was really good, and they really tapped into something there. There was really something there. But then I just feel like they kind of squandered it over the course of like an hour and 40 minutes. Like, I feel like it could have been a really effective 15-minute short film.
Yeah.
But it was just too fucking long. I got really bored. And I was telling Jade, I was like, I'm excited. I think I can hang in for this. But no, I don't know. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I started watching it the other night when I was editing our video for 13 Ghosts, and like I wasn't paying full attention to it. Like, actually, I wasn't even paying any attention to it because I was more focused on the video editing. But like I kept looking up and I was just like, I don't even want this on in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, it's very quiet, and I have heard that you should watch it like in a very dark room and like with headphones on. So I think I may revisit it with that, but then like I would have to watch it on my laptop, and like, is that going to be overly effective? Probably not.
I feel like it would be a better experience. I watched it on the TV, and I always have subtitles on, so that kind of ruined it because I could see what was going to be said before because the subtitles are kind of off. But you also cannot fucking make sense of a lot of what they're saying without the subtitles on. So you kind of need them, but you need it to be loud. And I've heard from, like I was talking to Erica from Horror Cafe about the theater experience. And I feel like the theater experience would have been better because you could hear better, but you still can't hear what the fuck they're saying. So it's like, you can't hear shit, you can't see shit. Yeah. You know, and it's really long. And there was but there was a gold nugget of an idea in there. And I feel like somebody could really expand upon that and make it way better, way scarier. It just wasn't all there. I don't know. Yeah. And I was like, maybe we should do an episode, Felicia and I. But I told her earlier when we recorded, I was like, I actually don't think I can put you through that. You know, like I wouldn't feel good about making you watch this movie. So
maybe she'd love it. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe, but I fucking doubt it. What I know of her, I don't think she would. I don't think she would. I think she would think that there were parts that were good, you know, like me. But yeah, no.
If she rated it higher than Pearl, I would have to have words with her.
Oh yeah, we still gotta do our Pearl. I did finally watch it. I don't even think I've told the group that. I did watch it.
Oh, what did you think? Without giving too much away, because I know.
I liked it. I liked it.
Okay. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
I liked it a lot, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard not to like talk too much about it. It's really hard to put it up against X, and I feel like I'm really struggling. Like, I'm like, do I like it better, less than, on par? I don't know. There were parts that I couldn't get on board with, but when we got to the end, I was like, shit, this is a great movie, dude. Yeah, so.
They're just like two very different movies.
Yes.
So it's like, it's really hard to compare them.
I'm really excited for the third one. I do feel like Ty West has really blown these first two like out of the water. So I'm excited to see what's next. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about fucking movies. We talk about that shit every single week. Let's get into music. So, all right. Let me just give a little background. We first kind of came across this because I was like, in November, I became totally obsessed with Bad Omens, and I'm wearing my Bad Omens shirt right now. And it's like a Bad Omens, The Omen shirt. Yeah, okay? With Damien. I don't know if you can tell. I'll hold it up. Yeah. So that people maybe looking at YouTube can see. Oh, I wanted this so bad. And I told Jade, I was like, I want this for Christmas, like, but it's sold out. And then my fucking best friend Paige coming in clutch got it for me for Christmas. Oh, so excited. And so I'm like, I have to wear this during this episode. So I became obsessed because of TikTok, right? I was like, oh shit, Bad Omens, they're the best. And I listened to like the whole album and I was like, this is my new fucking jam. And I've never, like, I just am not a music listener in general, which we can talk more about that later. But I was just like, has anybody I need everybody to know. Like, that's what I did, is I posted in our Discord and I was like, I just need everybody to know that Bad Omens is the shit and it's the best fucking band I've come across in my entire life. And Marc, you were like the only person to engage with me. Not the only person, but the only person to humor me and be like, yes, Bad Omens is great. And I was like, but fucking aren't they? So that's how this started. And then I was like, dude, I was drinking one night. We were chatting. I was like, we should fucking do an episode on this. So it's so random.
Mhm.
It's so different, but here we are and we're doing it and I'm excited.
Me too. Super excited.
Awesome. Okay, so you love Bad Omens too, but what I want to know first is like, I'm going to ask you a very vague general question. I want to know about like your history of music. What have you liked? What do you like now? I don't know. Go ahead.
I was actually hoping and kind of expecting you to ask this question. I was always like growing up, like I was introduced to music at a very early age because like my mom was she was like she loved hair metal, like Led Zeppelin and like Kiss and all them. So like I was introduced to that era of rock at a very early age, but then for whatever reason, I don't know where I got the love of rap came from. But until I was probably like 12 or 13, I was just all about rap, like Eminem and D12 and like Royce the 5'9" and Snoop Dogg and Exhibit and all those guys.
Okay, this is shocking me. I'm shocked.
Yeah,
right now.
like yeah, and like I was baggy clothes and like I was dressing the part and everything like that. And then I started playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I got
Okay.
I got introduced to like skate punk and like pop punk and like old school punk. Really liked Bad Religion and like Millencolin and all them.
How old were you, do you think?
Probably like 12. No. Well, yeah, probably about 12 for that. And I remember my first ever like punk album that I got was The Offspring's Americana.
Okay, yeah.
And I would blast the shit out of that, but their last song said fuck in it. So like I would have to run to my room and like skip it. So my mom didn't hear it.
Okay.
And then we had this we had a music store called Music World back in the day, and they would have like those listening booths. And Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory came in 2000, and my mom was off shopping in the mall, and she would just like let me go in there because I loved just like looking through CDs and the movies and stuff like that. So anyways, I went to this listening station and I listened to Hybrid Theory in its entirety while she was shopping. And I was just like, I need this album. And like to this day, it's still like a top 5 album for me.
Oh God, it's incredible.
Fucking good. So good. And like you had MTV, we had Much Music up here. That was like our music video channel. So I was watching that all the time, heavy into music videos. But then like I was at my dad's house because my parents split up when I was a baby, but like I was at my dad's place, and this was in grade 9. So I was like 13, 14. And we went to a music store, and I was friends with like a couple older guys who listened to like Screamo and stuff like that. And they were always talking about this band called Thursday. So I was with my cousin and I bought Bad Religion's Recipe for Hate and Thursday's War All the Time. And those 2 albums like made that switch for me. And like I was just focused solely on like screaming music and like metal and like anything with instruments. Like rap was gone, and I was just fully invested into like hard rock or like punk or skate punk, pop punk, any of that stuff. And now like I'll listen to anything. Like I don't actively search out like certain genres like country or jazz or anything like that, but like I'll listen to like Slipknot 1 minute and then like Elvis Presley the next. Like I'm just kind of all over the place. I don't know. Music is just, I don't know, therapeutic, I guess. Depending on my mood is what I like kind of switch around to.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. What do you think you have a favorite genre as of now?
Yeah, like I like heavier music, I don't know, like yeah, I don't want to say metal, but like post-hardcore or like even like melodic rock, like Bad Omens, I would kind of categorize them as that. I don't know. Yeah, I shift around a lot, but that's usually my go-to. It's heavier music.
And do you have a genre that is like a no-go for you? In like, I wouldn't say like as a whole, but like generally, are you like, that shit's not for me?
Country.
Okay.
Like
Same.
without a question.
Same.
Josh is always trying to get me, oh, dude, you gotta listen to Hardy, and like you gotta listen to this guy, and like this guy's Canadian, so you're gonna like him. Like, no, I'm not even gonna listen to the suggestions, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, fucking same. Glad we're on the same page there, because I am like, something about country, I just can't fucking do it. I just can't.
No.
There's like a few country songs. There's a few.
Yeah.
There's like Fancy. Okay. There's The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay. Love that song. I don't even actually know if these are considered country.
I like outlaw country. Like, give me like Johnny Cash and like Willie Nelson, and even like The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Like, I'd kind of consider that maybe ish.
Yeah, kind of. It's like, or like bluegrass. I do kind of like some bluegrass, but I feel like that's very different than country. So I just totally agree, and I'm in the same boat. I'm like, country, generally, that's a no for me. Dog. No.
Have you ever listened to Jelly Roll?
No.
He's a country artist, but like looking at him, you would never guess it.
Jelly Roll. I feel like I need to take notes, but I don't have like a pen. I didn't come prepared, and so I have to type, but it's going to be loud, and I'm scared. Okay.
But like he's a big guy, and he's like tattoos from like literally like the side of his head all the way down. He's just covered in tattoos. You would think he was a big metalhead, but he does country, and he's actually very, very good.
Interesting. Okay.
And Danny Warsnop. I don't know. Did you ever listen to Asking Alexandria?
No.
In the day? So they were a screamo band, and their front man left the band to start a country career.
Interesting.
And he does very good as well. I love his songs.
What was that one? Danny
Warsnop. So Worsnop.
Okay. I guess it was spelled the way that it sounded.
Yeah.
but I was like, I have no idea how to spell that. Okay. Yeah. I took some notes. Yeah. But country. No. Do you have any country songs that you like?
Like if I don't know, like if I'm going to listen to country, I'm going to listen to like something from the 90s just because I kind of grew up with it. So like it has that nostalgia feeling to it. But like I can't even name like a newer country song off the top of my head. Like if you said, hey, have you heard this song? I'll be like, no, probably not. But I probably have. And I just don't know. Like I don't know the names of them or anything like that. Like my wife listens to country, but
I'll tell you, the only place for me for country, this is just my opinion, is at Texas Roadhouse. Okay, that's the only place I can listen to country. It's when I'm waiting to eat some steak and potatoes.
Yeah, you got to get in that mindset, right?
Right. Interesting. I feel like I had a very opposite upbringing, not upbringing, but like journey of music, because I like flipped. I guess. Like I started, I think, rap, just straight up rap. And then later, when I got to be like 16, 17, I got really into screamo. So like my first album was Nelly. My first CD was Nelly. And then I think my second CD was the Marshall Mathers LP.
Nice.
I don't know why my parents let me do this. Like I went to the store and I was like, yeah, I want this CD. I remember going with my mom and I was like, I want this CD. And they were like, do you want the explicit version or the one that's like on the radio? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I remember having this, like, I didn't even realize there was a difference, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. And they were like, well, like, you know, one's on the radio, the other one's not. And I was like, I guess I'll take that one. And I took it and I brought it home. This is embarrassing, but I'm going to just admit it. I'm just going to be honest with everybody. Took it home, listened to it. And there's a track, I'm sure, as you know, Mark, of him murdering his girlfriend at the end. And I was like, I would like to take this back, please. I would like to exchange this for the radio version. Thank you.
That's great.
I actually don't remember if I did that, though, because I remember listening to that CD 1,000 times. And I don't know, maybe it was the explicit, maybe it wasn't.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like my first, you know, go around with music. And then I got to be about 16, got really into screamo. That's where I started like listening to heavier stuff.
Yeah.
And so I never listened to Asking Alexandria. My bands were like From First to Last, My Chemical Romance, and then I listened to a handful of Bring Me the Horizon. I can't remember any other ones off the top of my head, but those were kind of like, I think, the main ones. And I've always liked Green Day. Green Day is like not heavy at all. That's you know, pop punk or whatever. But that's my first favorite band. You know, I've gone to see them in concert like 5-6 times or something.
Nice.
With my parents, probably 4 out of those 5 times. Because my dad liked them and got me into it. And I also have listened to a bunch of, you know, classic rock, hair metal type stuff because of my parents. But yeah, it wasn't until way later that I was like, yes. Or wait, am I saying that backwards? I think I'm saying that backwards. Because you started.
I started with rap, yeah.
Okay, I started with rap, went heavy way later. No, so it's the same. What? Why was I thinking it was the opposite? I don't know. My bad. Whatever.
I feel like rap to like heavy rock is like, it's an easy transition. Because like a lot of rappers will use like similar, I don't want to say similar tracks, but like, I don't know, like it just seems like it's an easy transition, like from rap to rock. And like there's definitely like samplings of rock in rap songs, and maybe that's why, but I don't know, I'm not a music expert. I always find that like people who listen to rap also really like heavy metal or like hard rock, and kind of vice versa sometimes too.
Yeah, I wonder if that's not because this is my first theory in my brain. And so I don't know if this is true at all. This is just my experience. I don't like to listen to anything in general that doesn't feel like it has a very strong emotion. Like if I'm going to listen to something, I want it to feel really intense, really sad, really happy, or like really dark or something. And I feel like you kind of get that with both of those genres of music. You know, like I don't ever really like to listen to like, I don't know what to call it, like easy listening, like stuff that you just put on in the background. That's not really like my jam. And so maybe that's why it's a good bridge. I don't know. That's just my theory.
Yeah. People like, I don't know, I'm speaking as someone who is a fan of heavy music, but like a lot people that don't listen to it, they're all like, oh, how do you even understand what they're saying? But then like, or they're just screaming into a microphone. But if you sit and listen or read along with the lyrics, like that is a very, very emotional genre of music. And like these guys put their like hearts and soul into the music that they're making and the lyrics that they're writing. Like I just recently started getting back into, I was texting Brooke before I hopped on with you, and I was telling you I was watching a bunch of music videos, but the Amity Affliction, just started listening to them again recently after like 10 years where I just kind of forgot about them. And I was like, God damn, dude, like these guys are so fucking like emotional in their music and lyrically.
Yeah, I feel like you don't get that until you listen a little harder, right? Because I think you can be really turned off by the like, I mean, I don't know about them. I don't know if I've listened to their songs, but it's like you can be turned off by just like they're screaming, like you said, like I can't hear what they're saying. But when you really like take the time to listen and like look at lyrics, sometimes that helps because then once you see them, you know. But yeah, it's intense. It's like intense music. And I'm not here for like just, you know, guitar, solo guitar shit. I think if you were to ask me, I think what my favorite genre is, I think I would also say rap. Because that's been the case up until now, just in the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
Because that's like all I have liked to listen to. And so then this new, you know, music resurgence for me started with Bad Omens, has been a totally different world. Like, I feel like I'm getting back into this world that I was, you know, when I was like 16, 17. It sounds like you're doing the same thing. Like, you just mentioned you went back and listened to this band and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. I never really left. Like, I make jokes all the time, like, because I was an emo kid in high school. Like, I had the hair and the black clothes. Like, I didn't wear makeup or anything like that, but like, I dressed the part, and I've just kind of never grown out of that style or taste of music. And it's like, I don't know, because I've just never found anything that I've connected more with than that music.
Interesting. I was shocked because we were talking about a different band that maybe we'll come back to later. But then I was like, this reminds me of Sunreal, who is a rapper. And I sent it to you. And I just didn't think at all that you would know who that is. And you were like, I love Sunreal.
Yeah. He's like, Canadian.
That's fucking wild. I don't know that I knew that he was Canadian.
Yeah.
He's got great music videos. Like,
he's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So much fun.
Yeah.
So funny. But so that's why I was shocked also when you were like, that used to be my favorite music.
Yeah.
I also was a scene kid for my teenage years.
Yeah.
It was quite a few years ago. And then I was like, yeah, you know, not as much. Had to go to a corporate job. Yeah. Had to do that for a long time. I mean, I'm still in like a corporate job, I guess, kind of, but yeah.
Like, me and my buddies, like, we'll still go to concerts and stuff now. And like, we always make jokes because like we used to make fun of the old guys that would be at all these concerts, like, that we would go to. And like, now we look at ourselves and we're like, we're those old guys now. But whatever. It's fun. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like, we're going to Silverstein and Dayseeker at the end of March. And I'm super pumped for that. Like, Brooke and I just went and saw Slipknot last year for the second time for me. And it's just, I don't know, it's fun.
Have you been to a bunch of other like heavier shows?
Yeah. So I used to live in our country's capital for like 7 years. So the music scene wasn't the greatest, but it was pretty good. And like, we had a lot of bars that bands would come and play at. But yeah, like, I have a shoebox of old ticket stubs, and like the shoebox, it's full of ticket stubs because like every weekend we are going to a different show. And yeah, I've seen like, I can't even count hundreds of bands, like, because we went to Warped Tour, and like, we had a rock fest up here was a big thing. We had Taste of Chaos for a few years. So I mean, like, you always end up seeing like 10 to 15 bands at festivals like that. So yeah, like, you just lose count.
Who's like the sorry, keep
go ahead. I was gonna say, like, you just, I don't know, it's just such a fun time. So
yeah, and it is hard to keep track when you've seen so many like that.
Yeah.
What would you say is your like the best band that you've seen live?
Slipknot.
They
put on the best stage show I've ever seen. But I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but like, they have like the pyrotechnics, and like, back whenever Joey Jordison was still their drummer, like, he would get on this thing, and it would fucking, like, he'd be strapped into like a racing seat, and he would like go upside down while doing a drum solo. Like, Tommy Lee did it with Molly Crew as well.
Shit.
But they would like,
I've never seen that.
They'd spin him around, and he'd go right upside down, and he was doing a drum solo and stuff. It was like, they just put on an amazing stage show, and they're entertainers. Like, they're not just up there playing music. Like, they're interacting with each other. They're entertaining the crowd.
Interesting. Okay.
They were actually my first ever concert.
Oh, really?
I was 14.
How old were you?
14.
Oh my God.
I convinced my mom to buy me tickets. She didn't know who they were. And then, so she looked them up afterwards, and she was like, what the fuck did I just buy you tickets to? You went on your own? Me and a friend of mine, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That was like not an option for me. No fucking way. Yeah. The thing for me is like, we didn't live in a city that had a good venue. So we had to travel. We had to go up to Denver, which is like an hour and a half away. And so my parents had to go with me. So that's why my parents went to go see Green Day with me for like, 4 years in a row or something. It wasn't until I think I was 19, that my best friend and roommate Allie and I went and saw Green Day on our own, and we got to be in the pit, and that was fucking wild and fun. Such a good time.
Yeah.
Do you have like a worst? Like, who was the worst?
Honestly, Taking Back Sunday.
Oh yeah, we already talked about this. I forgot.
I was very disappointed in their live show. I've only seen them once though, so like I don't know if it was just a bad night, but it was kind of rough. I
saw a clip that somebody posted that was like when you wish you would have seen Taking Back Sunday 10 years ago. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whenever I saw them, they weren't that bad as what's in that clip, but it was disappointing to say the least.
Yeah.
I went through like a weird transition too when I was in college where I got like pretty heavy into dubstep.
Okay. I mean, same. So did everyone, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It was it was kind of like a huge thing for like a year, maybe 2 years. But we went and saw Skrillex, Sarah and I, and that was such a fun time. And actually Tommy Lee from Motley Crue, he dabbles in dubstep and he opened for Skrillex.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
It was cool. But yeah, you mentioned From First to Last before, and I was a huge fan of them growing up too. And like whenever Sonny left them to pursue EDM music, I was fucking pissed. But then like he ended up being the biggest dubstep artist out there.
Yeah, I love to tell people that don't know. You know, like, did you know that he used to be the lead singer? God, I love From First to Last.
He was so young too. Like he was only like 16 whenever he was fronting that band.
Wow, I don't know if I knew that. That is really young.
Mm-hmm.
And you look back at those music videos and oh my God, it's like, they're so bad, you know? Because it was probably like before they got big, you know, the early ones.
Yeah.
Because Dear Diary was the first album that my friend and I got introduced to. And we would just fucking sit there and watch the music videos like over and over again.
Yeah.
And then to see like where he went is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I thought of when you were talking about that other person who went and did a country career.
Oh, yeah.
It's so interesting to have people just like split off and be like, you know what? I'm going to do dubstep for a little while.
Yeah. It'd be like us splitting off the horror podcast and just, you know what? We're going to do rom-coms from now on.
Right.
Same vein, but like completely different genre.
I do. Can we just take a minute to talk about From First to Last? Did you listen to like them even post Sonny?
Yeah, they had that one album that came out right after Sonny left, and I think it was their guitarist that was their lead singer after that.
Yeah, Matt Good.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan. Sonny he just had a very unique voice, and once he left, they just kind of became a generic band. Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I kind of agree. Even though I would say that so it used to be Green Day, my favorite band, From First to Last, my second favorite band. I don't know now where everything falls with Bad Omens. Bad Omens might take, I don't know. But I feel like I can't say that. I haven't listened to all of their songs.
Yeah.
But From First to Last, I still love many of their albums. Do you have a favorite?
Probably Note to Self, I would have to say.
Okay. Yes.
Or no, Dear Diary, sorry. Dear Diary.
Right. Now I'm getting mixed up though too. I don't know.
Note to Self was on the CD.
Was the song, yeah, okay.
It was Dear Diary, My Teen Angst Has a Body Count or something like that.
I think so. I may be misremembering.
I don't know.
Who knows? These fucking titles, dude. They got out of control for a minute.
Remember like Fall Out Boy's songs? They were just like half a novel long.
So ridiculous.
From First to Last. Have you seen Sonny lately? He like cut all his hair off.
No.
He's growing a beard now.
No.
Yeah, Dear Diary, My Teen Angst Has a Body Count.
Yeah.
Heroin was good too, like their second album.
That's what I was gonna say. Heroin is my favorite, I think. There was something so dark and like just I don't know how to describe it, but it's like you get like enveloped in the music. There was something so dark and sinister and like I don't know, all encompassing about that album that I think
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm looking through the track list now. I'm like, shit, like these were good. Like
Yeah.
Mother Sound, Shame, The Crows Are Coming For Us. Oh, man. Yeah, they were good.
That one was so good. I also really liked the album right after Sunny left. I think it was called From First to Last. And
yeah.
then they did a second one after that called Throne of Wolves. I think they've done more since then, but I haven't listened to any of the newer ones.
They've only done, they did Dear Diary, Heroin, From First to Last, Thrown to the Wolves. And then they did Dead Trees. I think that was their last one.
Oh yeah, Dead Trees. I have not listened to any of that. I feel like I'm not good at keeping up on bands, you know? Like, this is part of the reason why I say that I'm not a music person, because I'm like not good at keeping up on it, and I don't search out new music.
Mm-hmm. Spotify's really good for that.
Yeah. You know what else I think is that made the difference for me, and I already said this, is TikTok, though, for the reason that I kind of have to listen to something like a couple times, most times, to like it. And so TikTok is nice because, like, that's what happened with Bad Omens, is like I heard the song over and over again, and I was like, shit, I like this. You know, like I can't just listen to something one time most of the time and be like, this is really good, and like it. And so I feel like that's cool because I've started a TikTok playlist where I just add songs.
Okay, cool.
That I like from it.
I didn't know you could do that.
Well, I just do it on Spotify.
Okay,
like,
I got you. All right.
Yeah, I take a note of the song and then I'm like, I put it in like a TikTok playlist on Spotify.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you're making a playlist on TikTok. I was like, shit, that's cool.
No. But speaking of like old bands, another one that I remembered as we were talking is Chiodos. Like I was like pretty big into Chiodos.
Yeah.
And I go back now and I try to listen to these bands that I used to like, right? Like I have like a whole Spotify playlist, like that I called 17 again.
Nice.
Because that was my life then. And it is like From First to Last, Chiodos. We did also listen to a Skylit Drive. Did you ever listen to them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Skylit Drive was good.
They were good.
I mean, it was just like one album that I listened to over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's like all of that. And I listen to it now and I like, something is just not hitting. And I don't know if it's because now I've been exposed to this newer music that I feel like is better. But I'm like, everything sounds so whiny. Like, and not from like a content perspective, but from like an actual voice perspective. Has this been your experience as well?
Yeah, like same with me and Chiodos, actually. Like, I don't think I can listen to Craig Owens anymore. I just and like he came out with Drugs too, and like I think that was just like a one album thing, but it was good. I enjoyed it, but yeah.
Was that like a solo thing?
No, it was just another band. It was Destroy, Rebuild Until God Sees or something. I can't remember.
Okay.
But yeah, him or them, like Chiodos and like Alisana. I don't know if you ever listened to them or not.
No.
I was huge into them, but they're like very like that high pitched screaming. And it's just like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. It's like, it's good, but I don't know if I can, I can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah. And like, I find music like that, because like, I'm all for like the heavy breakdowns and like the chugging and all that shit. But like, I find bands like Chiodos and Alisana, let's just say, they're like instrument quality, like just music quality sucks. Like whatever they were using to record their music on back then was just trash.
Yeah.
But then there's other bands. There's other bands that still sound really good from back then too. So I don't know.
Good point.
Like I'll go back and I'll listen to like Bring Me the Horizon from back then, and I still love their music from back then.
Yeah. I have thought that it is like the vocals, but maybe it's both. Maybe it's the vocals, maybe it's the recording, because a lot of these, I feel like, were recording these albums before they got big and had money, you know? Like, I feel like the difference between Heroin and Dear Diary is vast, right? It's a really big difference. So maybe that is part of it, is that just the recording quality was not good. Yeah. But now I feel like, it's a new phase for me. And I'm like, I can't, because I went back and tried. I was like, should I add some of this to my new playlist, my old stuff?
Yeah.
But I can't. And I also think like mentally I can't go back. You know what I mean? This is 30-year-old me. Okay. Yeah. It's not 17-year-old me anymore. I can't do it. Okay. I got new sad shit. Okay.
New sad shit. My buddies and I, we have like a collaborative playlist on Spotify, because you can do that. Like you can each like kind of add songs to it. And we have one that's from like our high school and college days. And it's just, it's a lot of fun going through and just like reminiscing on what we used to listen to. It
is fun to get into that and just be like, oh, this is how I was feeling. Like that's why I like that 17 Again playlist. Cause I'm like, I'm 17 and I'm driving around at night, you know? So what about now? Like, what are your faves right now?
I'm big into Lorna Shore right now, who are like very, very, very heavy, but you need to like, I was actually going to send you a video, like one of their music videos the other day. And I was like, she's probably not going to like this, but they just got a new singer or a new frontman early last year, I think. And his name is Will Ramos. And the shit that this guy can do with his voice is like insane. So there's this girl on TikTok who she's a vocal coach, and she'll like watch these music videos and like watch them do their thing, and then like talks about what she hears. And then she came across them, and she ended up having like Will Ramos come on her TikTok channel and like her YouTube channel. She's gone to like a vocal doctor with him to like put a camera down his throat while he screams, because like she's just absolutely flabbergasted. Because like whenever she watched the music video, she's like, there's like 3 tracks here, they're all playing at once, but no, it's just him.
Wow. Okay. Weird.
So I'm obsessed with them. I showed you Electric Callboy a few weeks ago. I'm obsessed with these guys. They're so much fun. I need to see them live because I think it'd just be such a party.
God, seeing them live would be probably too much of a party. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's scary. Because you said that to me and I was like, yeah, that would be fun. But you know what else? Like, that would be like some fucking like cocaine shit. Like people would be fucking, just fucking railing lines. Like I was like, this is next level. Like I would have died for this at like 18, 19. Like this was so party fucking city. I love it. Yeah. Like I love the campiness of it.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever went to Warped Tour or anything, but like just seeing them at Warped Tour would be so much fun.
No, I was thinking that when you were talking about seeing shows, I never got the experience of seeing anything like that. And it's kind of sad. Like a big like Warped Tour or whatever. There was one time, I really am not, like I said, I'm not really like a big music person. I feel in my heart, like if I go see someone in concert, I have to fucking know all of their songs, which is a weird thing that I've put on myself.
Yeah.
And so I know that's ridiculous, but that's like why I've seen Green Day so many times, because I'm like, I know like most of the discography, or at least I did, you know, this was 10 years ago. Or it was either that or it was like local shows, right? Like we went as teenagers to a lot of local metalish kind of scene-y type bands or whatever, you know, dated a guy who was in a band, went with him to shows, went to their shows. And like, but there was no in between. Like it was like really small or really fucking big, like Green Day. So I never got to like do anything in the in between. But I did one time. I went to Mayhem when I was like 19, 20, which was like a big rock thing with my boyfriend at the time. And I got to see Rob Zombie.
Nice.
Who I feel like is one of the better people I've seen live. And then, but he was the second last to play. And then the last to play was Korn. Okay. And I feel like Korn did really well. I just wasn't as into that as I was Rob Zombie, because he, like you were saying about Slipknot, he is a showman. Like it's all about the show. And like he rode this big like demon on stage, and there were like the pyrotechnics and everything, and I was just like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking here for this. That's the only thing I've seen like that though. So I'm kind of sad that not that I couldn't go now, but like, you know, now I feel like an old person. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking hurt myself in a pit somewhere on a hot, sweaty day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, Warped Tour, like, because it came to Montreal, which was like a 2-hour drive for us. And then it stopped coming to Montreal and it was only coming to Toronto, which was like a 4-hour drive. But there was a 10-year span where we went every single year. Just because like you have 50 of your favorite bands playing.
Yeah.
And like we just couldn't miss it. And like we would travel as far as we could in order to see it. And you're just like, you go there and you're so pumped, but like out of the 10 years that we went, like 8 of the years were just like sweltering heat, and like you're eating dirt all day long from like the mosh pits, and like you're disgusting afterwards. And like my buddies were getting heat stroke, and it was just like,
oh my God,
we're pulling over on the way home so they can get out of the car and throw up because they're just like dying from heat stroke in the back seat. And then like the other 2 times it was just torrential downpours.
Oh my God. It's like, so, one or the other.
Yeah,
that's
it's
fucking
one extreme
terrible.
to the next. But we had so much fun. But like going now, I'm just like, I don't know if I could do it now. Because like it just doesn't seem as enjoyable as it was back then.
Yeah, I feel like you reach a level of adult that you're like, there is a level of inconvenience that I am not going to deal with, you know? And this is it. This is like I'm not going to stand and be fucking hot as shit for days. I just can't. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I really feel like I should see more live bands, though. I feel like I would love to see Bad Omens. Bad Omens, Dayseeker.
Yeah.
That's all I got right now. That's all I got. And I missed Bad Omens by like 2 fucking weeks. If I had become obsessed with them like 2 or 3 weeks earlier, well, it might have been sold out. So maybe there was no chance, but
let's just go with that so you don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
You know what? You never would have made it. It's fine.
It wouldn't have made a difference. Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm also a big Ice Nine Kills fan.
Oh God. Let's talk about this. This is so relevant, I feel like, for us. I still, and I'm sorry to everybody, I haven't listened to any other songs except for that one.
Okay. And which one was it again?
It was the
Hip to Be Squared?
Yes. Yeah. Hip to Be Scared. Yeah.
Scared, yeah. They're fantastic. They're another band that more recently has been like putting on like experiences whenever you go and see them, because like they'll play like a whole horror movie on stage. And they had Welcome to Horrorwood. And they turned that album into like a short film basically with the music videos that they released with it. But yeah, I don't know. They're so interesting and relatable for us because all of their songs are, well, the last 2 albums, all their songs are based off of horror movies and like their favorite horror movies. So like it's a passion project for them, and you can really tell. Because like I used to listen to them, but like they were okay. And then all of a sudden they came out with Welcome to Horrorwood, and I was just like, holy shit, like they're going balls to the wall with this.
I love this kind of shit, like concept albums. I feel like that's a really cool idea, but I really need to listen to more of them. I don't know. I've avoided it. I've only listened to that song. But can you tell me, does that song have clips of like American Psycho in it?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it does. Okay.
Well, no, like they played out themselves.
But is it like lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, hey, Paul, like that whole, because he says that in American Psycho. And I keep saying Welcome to Horrorwood. That was the second album. The Silver Scream was the first one that came out with the horror movies. But anyways, yeah, he does use some lines, and like in the song, he does like there's sort of like a music break where it turns into Hip to Be Squared in the background, and he's talking to, it's actually Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach.
Okay, I knew that name sounded familiar, but I just could not place it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I know who that is, but I don't remember who it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's him that's featured on the song. And he like starts talking about Ice Nine Kills, but he's talking like how Patrick Bateman is talking about Huey Lewis and the News in the movie. It's obviously not word for word, but
I feel like I don't know American Psycho enough to know. Mm-hmm. And so it was like close enough where I was like, is this ripped straight from the movie?
No, it's not. It's not identical word for word, but
okay,
it plays off of it for sure.
Okay, good to know. I tried to listen. I will say, okay, I've listened to like 1.5 because the half song that I tried to listen to was the one about something in batteries.
Assault and Batteries.
Assault and Batteries. And that's the one that's supposed to be Child's Play. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm like a Child's Play person.
Yeah.
Okay. But I immediately could tell this is not exact. Mm-hmm. You know, like I was like, they're playing at it, but it's not exact.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't get down with this. Like I was like, nope. I'll go back and listen to it again and give it a fair shot. But I was like, in the moment, I was like, nope, this is not what I expected, and I don't like it, and I'm out. Because I thought they had like sampled the actual movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm here for that. Mm-hmm. Like, give these people the rights. Why not? Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, what else? What else is good from them? I feel like a blasphemer that I haven't listened to any of their songs.
It Is the End is really good. It's a play on It. I mean, like there's Thank God It's Friday, which is Friday the 13th, American Nightmare. Rock the Boat is based on Jaws.
Okay.
And they convert the Jaws track, like the dun dun dun, they convert that into a breakdown, and it's super cool how they do it. What else is really good? I prefer the Silver Scream to, well, I can't really say that. I was gonna say I prefer the Silver Scream to Welcome to Horrorwood, but the shower scene is really good, which is Psycho.
They did do like some kind of like movie or something though with that second one, right? Because I saw them post about something having people in it. It was like Dead Meat Podcast was in it somehow, but I was like just Bill like Moseley. I have no idea. Yeah.
Like they had a huge cast for it. Ex Mortis is really good too. It's on Welcome to Horrorwood. It's The Evil Dead. I don't know, just listen to those two albums in its entirety.
Okay, in the entirety. That's big. It's a big ask. I gotta do like songs, you know?
I was gonna ask, like, we grew up in an age where like music videos were a thing, but they're not as big anymore. Like, what's your thoughts on them? Because I know a lot of people don't like them anymore, and I don't know if that's just because like we're not having them force fed down our throats every time we turn the TV on, or like I still watch music videos, and like I look forward to new music videos coming out. And like you mentioned before, you were watching reaction videos to music videos earlier today, and like I love watching that shit too. I think they're just fun.
I don't know. I mean, I think part of it probably is that music videos are so much money to get produced if you want to do a really good one, you know? And so I think like these smaller bands have a hard time drumming up the money to do really good music videos, which sucks, but it is the reality. But I also think there's not a venue. Like there's not a way to get this in front of people cheaply anymore. Because when we were younger, you know, we were watching it on TV. So it was like, if you were big enough to have a music video play on TV, you had the money to pay for a good music video. Now, we just get like pumped just straight into our faces, like whatever anybody has on social media, you know? So it's kind of like I don't know. It's hard to be incentivized, I think, to make a good music video. And also, it'd be so fucking hard to come up with the money. Like, good video production costs fucking money. It just does. That's what I went to school for. You have to pay people for their time. You got to set up, like, I feel like a lot of small bands think it's way cheaper to do a video than it is. And it's just fucking not. Like, you have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get something good. And so now what I feel like you're seeing a lot of is like either no music video, like there's nothing, there's just an image, you know, playing over the length of the song, or there's like these most recent Sleep Token songs. Have you been tracking them?
I haven't.
Like, have you been watching?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you shit for that later. But what they're doing, and what I think a handful of other people are doing, is this like 3D animation loop. Okay. And so it's like pretty fast. You know, you probably pay for like a 30-second max loop of like a 3D animation that you just play over and over again throughout the length of your song.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. So I think this is the new normal, right? It's just this like, you're just doing what you can to get something up as a video. Now, I think that's where we are now. You know, whether or not that sucks, I think I'm in your boat. Like, I like music videos. I think rock music videos, though, I don't like as much as I do rap videos. I feel like rap videos have traditionally been way more fun and creative, but maybe that's partially due to the money. Because I do feel like rap has been a little bit more mainstream than like really hard music. So maybe they can justify at least the like, you know, production companies. That's not the right word. That's movies. But you know, the people. What am I trying to say here? The people who put out the albums. Help me out. Like, help me out, Mark.
Distribution companies, like
like Universal or you know, whoever. Sumerian Records. Yeah, music labels. There like they have the money to front. Thank you. They have the money to front to be like, let's, you know, do a big thing here. But I just feel like that hasn't always been the case in our past. And so rap has gotten like more money, and those are always fun. And so I do love music videos. One of my favorite, can I just tell you, one of my favorite pastimes when I get real drunk is to come home and just start watching music videos with Jade and making him watch music videos. It's like my drunk go-to. I'm like, but watch, have you seen this music video?
Yeah, I watched it the last time you got drunk.
Right. He's like, I'm over this. I've seen the same video 8 times. Yeah.
That's a good point though, like with the rock music videos. Because like before we started recording, I watched probably like 4 or 5. And literally all of them were the exact same. It was just the band playing the music with a different backdrop.
Yep.
And if it's not that, then it's like a live video that they've turned into a music video.
Yeah.
Which I do enjoy watching because, like, I don't know, like you get the energy of the crowd and whatnot. So it's nice to see that. Like, I prefer watching a music video like that than I would just having the band like playing their song in the pouring rain or something like that. But
yeah, I really don't feel like you see that in heavy music. That's why I think I was so shocked when you sent me those electric callboy videos that I was like, what is this? Yeah. How have I been missing this? Yeah. I sent that also to my old co-working group, you know, because they're all in video production. And like, I was just like, you guys are going to like this. Like, I knew you would enjoy this. So I sent it all to them because it's just so wild and funny and high production value, you know? Like, where do they get the money to do that?
I don't know.
It's great though.
Yeah. I can't even remember how I found them. Because like on Spotify, like I pay attention to my release radar because I'm always keeping an eye out for bands that like I normally listen to. And I think they might have just showed up on there one day. Or Brooke showed them to me maybe. And yeah, I've just been kind of obsessed with them ever since.
This was going to be one of my questions for you is like, how do you find new music?
Yeah, Spotify, like the release radar, or I'll check like the new releases that come up on there, or like Spotify has a like if you like this artist, you'll like these guys. So like I'll go through that every once in a while.
Hmm.
But back in the day, we had this website. This was like way back. It was called Pure Volume. And it was literally just like a music database almost. And like bands would like, they would have like the top 10 bands of the week or like the top 10 new artists of the week. And you could pick what genre you wanted. And that's where I found like pretty much every band that I listened to back in the day was on this Pure Volume website. And I wish we still had something like that.
Was it like Spotify where it would recommend, or would you just have to like, you know, sort through, listen to them and see how you felt?
Well, like it was almost like MySpace, but like MySpace was also like a social media sort of thing. This was like it was basically MySpace for music artists. You know what I mean? Like they took out the social media aspect of it, and it was just like artists had their own profiles, and like you could go and listen to their tracks on their profile. And I do think that there was recommendations like once you went to that profile, but it just made it a lot easier to find new music.
Yeah, I feel like that's the hard thing is like, how do you find music that is the same as what you like?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like it's really hard because you get recommended things that are similar, but maybe not similar in the way that you like it to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you had mentioned in the Discord chat, like you haven't found anyone that like kind of comes close to what Bad Omens is for you other than Dayseeker.
Mm-hmm.
And like those are the only two bands that are really kind of touching on that feeling that you want. But like if you go to Spotify and you look up the recommended artists that are based off them, like they may just be like hard rock songs or hard rock bands. Like they might not have the same feeling as the bands that you're listening to.
Totally. And I think that's the hard thing is like, for me right now, I feel like Sleep Token is the closest. Like I really like Dayseeker, and I feel like they're really similar to Bad Omens, but like Sleep Token has like that's all I've been listening to. Now I'm obsessed with Sleep Token. Okay. That's my new obsession. And that's been the last like week and a half, just nonstop listening to Sleep Token because they're releasing new songs, right? So you listen to The Summoning, right? Because I sent that one to you.
Yeah.
Have you listened to any of their new ones?
No.
Any of the other new ones? Okay.
No, not since that one.
That's totally fine and no judgment. But they're all fucking good. They're all so good. And I really, right now, my favorite song is Granite by them. And oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I did listen to that one because I think someone was talking about that in the Discord.
I did post it.
Was it? Okay, so then I did listen to that one then.
Okay. That one, I feel like something about this, I'm assuming that they're posting singles from their new album, right? Something about all of the singles from this new album have a hip hop quality to them.
Yeah.
Like, and so I feel like it's perfect for us. I feel like it's people who like both that I'm just like, I'm blown away by the meshing of these two things.
Yeah.
You know, they all kind of have this like funky quality to them in different ways. And Granite is my new favorite. Like I've just been listening to that on repeat. But they also have this new, this other one called Aqua Regia that's really good. And just the thing about Sleep Token and Bad Omens is you feel this feeling of being, like I talked about earlier, like being enveloped in the music and in the sound. And it's just so like deep. I don't know, not like content wise, but just you feel like you're being submerged in the song.
Yeah.
And I really, really fucking like that. And I don't know that I felt that till now. It's like Heroin was like the best example from my teens. And so I feel like it's cool to feel that way again. I feel that way about Bad Omens too, I guess. But like Sleep Token really, there's some like really interesting, I don't know, music stuff. Those are the videos I was watching earlier is like people reacting to Sleep Token songs. Okay. I'm not like a reaction video watcher in general, but I was just like, I don't know what's happening here. Like I like it, but I'm like a very layman person when it comes to music. Like I have no fucking idea what's happening here. I just like it, you know? Yeah. Did you ever like play any instruments or anything?
I played guitar like very loosely
Okay.
when I was a teenager. I really wish that I would have pursued it a little bit more. Like I still have like two or three guitars in my closet upstairs that I've never touched since I was a teenager. Um, but yeah, I kind of kicked myself in the ass for not following through on any of it. I always wanted to learn how to play drums, but my mom would never let me get a drum set.
Yeah.
They're a little loud.
No shit. As a parent too, probably you're like, yeah,
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
You're like, that's a no. I played the clarinet.
Okay.
Yeah.
How metal
Mostly.
of you.
I know. Yeah, actually, I would like to think that was very punk of me because all of the girls wanted to play the flute, and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Clarinet
you know what
is
I'm gonna
superior.
do? Yeah, like not what all of you want to do. I'm gonna play the clarinet. But then, I got to high school and I was like, cool kids aren't band kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I quit like
Yeah.
a dum-dum. But, that's teenage brain for you.
Of course. Piano is one that I always wish I would have played too.
Yeah.
Like now that I'm an adult, I'm like, fuck, like nothing sounds better than like a good piano track.
And it's like, it seems like it's a really good basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
To learn how to play anything else.
Yeah.
My friend and I tried to learn how to play guitar, and we took like a handful of lessons, like maybe 3 from this guy who was also in a local band that we met. And we were like, come teach us. What was his name? I almost remembered it for 2 seconds. Maybe it was Steve. I don't know. We were like, come teach us, Steve, whatever his name was. I don't even know that we paid him. We were like 16, whatever. We're like, teach us how to play guitar. And he like kind of did. And we kind of learned how to play some chords and stuff, but like that was it. But the guitar is like that too. Like I feel like it's a basis. Like you can kind of build on that.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And like the good thing with guitar too is like you can learn like actual sheet music, or you like they have the tab sheets too, which are nice. Like they were always a bit easier to read than the actual music.
Yeah, I think I remember learning how to read tabs.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned how to play like Emily or something.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I knew that one too.
Oh god, it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like stupid.
Yeah.
Teenage life, Is there any other like current things?
Like current bands that I listen
to?
I don't know. Like I always seem to find myself reverting back to what I used to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Thrice just re-released the Artist in the Ambulance album, and I was listening to that like all day on Friday, and it was super good. A Day to Remember is always a band that I'll fall back on. Wage War, they're really good.
I've listened to a couple of their songs, just a couple, and I do like them a lot.
Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know, like I'll cycle through genres every once in a while too. Like there might be one week where I'll listen to rap, and then like I'll have a day where I just listen to like 50s music or like 60s music. Like I just mentioned, like I love Elvis Presley. I love like Chuck Berry, Huey Lewis. Like I like that old stuff. I like electro swing music, which is a very different genre than what I usually listen to. But it's
I have no idea what that would be. Like, do you have an example?
It's like swing music, but like with electronics. Yeah, Caravan Palace is their name.
Caravan Palace.
Mm-hmm. Listen to Lone Digger from them.
Oh, I've definitely heard this. I just had to play it for literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Jade really likes. I think in the past he really liked this. I think he still likes it, but like this is not his more favorite music to listen to right now.
Yeah.
But I was like, I know I've heard this song. It's on his playlist. I've heard it 1,000 times. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
It is fun. I don't mind it. It's yeah. And then like Heads Will Roll, that song.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the actual name of the song, but I've heard that 1,000,000 times. What was that other band? There was like a band. I think it might be the band who did that song. That was really big for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, but
yeah, I don't know.
Not really my up my alley as much. I did make a couple notes as far as things. I have so many fucking questions. I feel like we could talk for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
About this. At some point, we're gonna have to cut it off here. But I am curious about Brooke. Like, can you give me like Brooke's music sense, just in a quick nutshell?
He's a metalhead through and through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be? Okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, like, he doesn't stray too far from the path. Like, it's generally like heavy music for him.
I feel like metalheads specifically are, and I don't know this about Brooke, but I feel like they are the ones that are the most protective of their music and the subgenres and the names that you call stuff. Like, that's something that I remember from being about, 16, 17 when I first got into some of this music. People were so fucking gatekeepy about like, oh, it's this, but it's not this, and you can't call this kind of music. And so now, like, I didn't do any fucking research. I'm gonna say, just as a blanket term, that now I have gotten into metalcore. I don't know if that's the right term for like Bad Omen, Sleep Token, Dayseeker, but I feel like that kind of fits. But somebody's gonna have a conniption out there. Somebody's gonna be like, no, that's not it, because this has been a thing for 100 years where it's like, no, that's my type of music that I like, and it's not, which is fine. I like, whatever. But I just feel like I had hoped maybe that we were like past that gatekeepiness, but I don't know that we are, because I'm seeing a lot of TikTok videos of people being like, get out of here, you fucking fair weather, Bad Omens, Sleep Token fans. And I'm like, you know what? That's me. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go away. I'm going to like them forever. Okay, I've collected them as good bands, but.
And who cares? Like, music's music.
But I bet Brooke's not like that.
No, he wouldn't correct you if you called them something that they're not.
Yeah.
He doesn't give that much of a shit about it.
Yeah, he's real chill. He's like, meh.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I hope.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah.
I'm looking at your eyes and I'm like, tell me, is Brooke going to give me shit for this?
No.
Okay, good. Not that it would matter, even if he did.
Just fuck you, Brooke.
I will say, we talked about them like real quick, but a band that I feel like has really bridged the gap and that I don't hate listening to now with their newer stuff or their older stuff is Bring Me the Horizon. And I feel like this is maybe one of those that, again, elitists would be like, fuck them, they fucking did some different shit. But I'm like, I don't know. I wasn't paying super close attention, right? So I came in at Suicide Silence, right? Is that the name?
Suicide Season.
Thank you. Yeah. See, people are gonna fucking
Suicide Silence is a band.
Burn me alive. Yeah, thank you. Listen to a handful of tracks off of that album. Okay. Right? And then came in, now. like listening to,
like, you had a big gap.
Huge gap. No idea what the fuck I was like, maybe they just fell off the map. Like, nothing. I didn't listen to anything until now, when I have to also give it up to this person. I'll like link them or something, because I got obsessed on TikTok. I came across another woman's TikTok. She was like, if you like Bad Omens, you should listen to this playlist on Spotify. She put it together. I liked it, followed it, and that has been the basis of like my music renaissance that I've had. Yeah. And I've built on that and added more to my own playlist. But on this, there was one Bring Me the Horizon song, Follow You, from one of their like albums, a couple albums ago. And then I started talking to one of our friends, Jade Knight's friends, Joel, and he had Parasite Eve on a playlist. Yeah. And I listened to that and I was like, this fucking song. I was like, where has this been all my life? And like, why did no one tell me about this? I think I sent it to you, right, Mark? I was like, listen to this fucking song.
You were mad at me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, why didn't anybody tell me? So mad. It was so good. And I realized like after that they had put out like 5 albums or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Since then?
Sempiternal is my favorite album of theirs.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I'm like one of the elitists, but I don't like their new music. And it's nothing against them. It's just I was such a huge fan of their music back in the day. And like I was listening to some of their songs before we hopped on tonight because they just came up on like the side on YouTube. And like I texted a couple buddies and I was just like, holy fuck, like they were so good. Cause like I haven't listened to that Sempiternal album in a while. But like I'm not willing to give it a shot with their newer stuff because like I understand why they made the shift, and like you and I talked about it, like he kind of had to, like his vocal cords just got completely obliterated. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the newer stuff.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think just to be clear from my own position, if you don't like something, I think that's a thing on its own, you know, but when people start being like, oh, they sold out and like, you know, like I think that's where the kind of elitism comes in, where it's like, or if like you like their newer stuff, but you didn't like their older stuff, you're a poser. Like, God, I'm like having flashbacks of being a teenager, you know? Yeah. So I think it's totally like, it doesn't make you an elitist to not like some of the newer stuff. Yeah. You know? But I do like that I watched a video actually that this guy posted on YouTube about like their transitions as a band and like all the different albums they've done. And I kind of like how fucking punk rock they've been a little bit, where it's like, oh, you want us to do like really heavy shit? How about this whole ass fucking pop album? You know? Like, I haven't listened to any of that, like any of it really. But I'm like, that's fucking funny to me that they're like bucking what people expect of them. I like that kind of shit. So I'm like, I'm fucking here for it. But I really need to go back and listen to Sempiternal. I don't think I've listened to I haven't heard any song off of that album. Yeah, because like Suicide Season was really good. There was a few songs that I was obsessed with, and like they'll still put them on every once in a while. But like Sempiternal was just like from beginning to end, it was like their piece de resistance album. Like this was the album that was like they had evolved into like this fucking superstar band at that point, and like that was the album. And there's like so many good tracks on that album. Yeah, that guy's voice is really great, and I feel like we were talking about earlier, it really stands the test of time. It can kind of bridge over so many different styles and genres, and you know, they're still putting out hits. Yeah. And now I want to talk about Bad Omens. Okay. Unless there's something else. No. That you want to talk about. Because I'm like, I've been saving it. Okay. I want to know how you came to know about Bad Omens. Honestly, the same way you did. TikTok. Yeah. Like, okay. They had a couple songs that came up on my Spotify, but I was just like, yeah. And then, what's the name of the song? Like that one that's all over TikTok. Just Pretend. Yes, that one. Yeah. It became like one of the most popular fucking songs on TikTok for like a month. And every time it came on, I was just like, oh my God, like this is so good. And then after that, I just went back to Spotify and just started following all their shit. And so yeah, I can thank TikTok for really introducing me to them. Yeah, what a fucking powerful music tool. Like I don't think people think about it that way all the time because it's just like people uploading videos or whatever. Yeah. But God, you hear something over and over again, it gets stuck in your head and you're like, I like that song, you know? And you unfollow them. Yeah, and it's a good way for like lesser known bands or musicians to get their name out there. Like you create a sound clip and people start using it, then like you're famous. I kept telling Jade, I only got on TikTok like a month before I became obsessed with Bad Omens. Like, it's like all of this is very new to me. Like, I got on TikTok and I was like, Bad Omens. So like all of it's new. But I was telling Jade, I was like, this is brilliant, dude. Like, if you're a band, you just make a song that has a great, like, you know, reposting value that people are going to use for transitions or whatever. And you're fucking good to go. Like, you just wait for that shit to catch fire and you're on.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking crazy how much has changed. Just and the landscape.
I've seen bands or musicians even use it as like a marketing tool, like to promote their album that's coming out or like a new song that's coming out. Cause like you only get like a 30-second clip, but they post that. And if you like it, then like you're wanting more. And like you can't wait for this song to come out because like that 30-second clip has got you so hyped up over it. Yeah.
I feel that especially with Sleep Token lately. Like, because they've been releasing singles like I think once a week or something, like so they put out like 4 or maybe 5 over the last like however many weeks, and it's like people, I just get flooded. It's probably my, you know, feed, like it knows that I like this content, so it's like sending it to me. But it's like people talking nonstop about, you know, Bad Omens and Sleep Token and doing reaction videos and transition videos and like, I don't know, meta videos about the fucking song and how popular it is. It's just like nonstop. But Bad Omens blew up like this. And now Sleep Token is also blowing up like this, which I just feel like it's really cool if you can use it to your advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's good to know. I feel like we're kind of, you know, we're like posers here. Like we came in real late from TikTok and we're like, what up everybody? And they're like, fuck you. You were here 2 albums ago. You could suck my dick. And we're like, oh, well, you know, whatever. We like him. But I feel like I haven't liked an album like this, a whole ass album in 100 fucking years. Like it's literally been like a decade. And I'm like, just this whole album is so good. The Death of Peace of Mind. I really need to go listen to their older albums, like in their entirety.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Jesus Christ, Bad Omens is so good.
There's also like a risk in doing that too, because like it might not change like your perspective on them, like if you don't like one of their older albums, but like it almost tarnishes their legacy in your mind. Like you have this album that's like the holy grail for you for this band.
Yeah.
And then if you go back and like maybe their first album shit, like I don't know. Like do you think that would tarnish it at all?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. Because I feel like I can separate and know, like this was years ago, you know, before they had money. I feel like I was able to do that with like My Chemical Romance or From First to Last 100 years ago. You know, I was like, well, you know, I got introduced late in the game. Well, not late, but later, you know, and then you go back and you just listen to their first album and you're like, Jesus Christ, this is fucking, like you could tell somebody recorded it in a garage and you're like, but I still like it, you know? So I think that'll be my experience with Bad Omens. Have you listened to like their older albums?
Probably like a song here and there, but definitely not in their entireties, no.
Yeah. I feel like it's such a fucking commitment, right? To like sit down and listen to a whole album.
Yeah.
I have a hard time.
It was good when I had like an actual commute to work, but now like I live 5 minutes away from work, so I get like 1 or 2 songs in if I'm lucky, and that's it. Yeah,
that's my problem too. I don't drive to work. I work from home, so it's hard to listen to anything. And for the last decade, all I've listened to is podcasts, basically, or nothing. Like I'm like a weird psycho person where I just sit in my car and listen to nothing.
I do that sometimes,
or have before. Now I'm like full music all the time. But it's hard if you don't have the time, you know? And so that's another thing. I'm notorious for not listening to songs that people send me or like things, videos, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about it. So I'm trying to be better because I'm like, I want to be exposed to new things, new music. And so people will send it to me and I'm just like, but I don't know. Finding the time is hard.
we're what's the word? We're creatures of habit, right?
Yeah.
Like you know that you like something and you don't want to stray from it because like I don't know if it's like fear of like, oh shit, I don't like this or I'm not gonna like this, or if it's like for me, and like I'm going back to Ice Nine Kills, but like whenever the Silver Screen came out, I listened to that for a year straight, and like only that.
Hmm.
Like I used to work like at the same job, but like doing a different thing. Like I was an outside forklift driver on 12-hour shifts, and I would listen to that album over and over and over again for 12 hours straight, and like I wouldn't stray from it. And
Yeah.
it's like it's so unnecessary because like
Yeah.
there's so much good music out there, but I was just like, I don't want to forget. I think that maybe that's what it is. Like I don't want to start listening to something else and then push this album off to the side and forget about it for 10 years. Like I've
Mm.
done with like all these other bands that I'm like now 33 years old, and I'm like revisiting them, and I'm just like, oh my God, I forgot how good these guys were. Like I don't know, like you just get these bands or these albums where you don't want to have that.
Totally. I do feel like the world of music is so overwhelming for me
Mm-hmm.
in that same way. There's so much to listen to and so much to discover that
Mm-hmm.
like it's hard to, because you hear a song sometimes and you're like, Jesus Christ, I love this song. I
Mm-hmm.
forgot about it. You know, I don't know why I don't feel that same way about movies. I guess I do to some degree, but we kind of hone in on like a very small, subgenre of movies.
Yeah.
And music, I just feel like you could spend your entire life listening to every song and you would never be
That's
able
true.
to listen to all the songs. I mean, that's true for movies too, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it feels different to me for some reason. Like music is just a never ending thing.
Yeah.
And so I get you. Like I feel the same way. It's like if I listen to this, what else do I have to listen to, What else do I have to sit down and pay attention to and see if I like? I feel like it's like a commitment. You have to like put in the energy.
Mm-hmm. Or like, what if I love this song so much that like this is going to be my new favorite band, and
I
now this is
yeah.
all I'm going to listen to.
I actually feel bad about Bad Omens because I'm like, I've only listened to Sleep Token for the last like week, and I'm like, have I betrayed them now? My new favorite band. I can't leave them behind,
Yeah. It's like Woody or Andy from Toy Story. Like he gets a new toy and pushes all of his other toys off to the side.
Yeah, but you also don't want to get like stuck in the same shit. I feel like for 10 years, I listened to the same exact songs over and over again until very recently. And so that's not cool either. Like, I would like listen to my top 100 on Spotify and I'm like, yeah, but I've listened. I just skip every single one. Like, yep. And I heard this 1,000 times. So it's nice to have something fresh, Well, I feel like, again, we could talk about this for 100 years, but maybe we should wrap it up. I feel like we should have like a fucking a part 2 on rap.
Okay.
I feel like that'd be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah, because we kind of focus this conversation on like metal or like hard rock.
Yeah, and I figured we would, but like I don't think I realized how much you appreciated rap type music. So we should definitely do a part 2. I feel like that would be fun.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. This is just 2 fucking layman ass people. I was like watching those reaction videos earlier and I'm like, God, these people like actually know what's happening. In music. And I'm like, I know nothing. I don't feel qualified to speak on this at all.
We're just fans.
We're just like sharing our excitement about it, which is fine also. So maybe keep your eyes peeled for that. I hope you, all of you listeners, liked this. This is totally different, but Mark, I don't know if you want to plug your podcast and where people can find you again.
Sure. I'm one half of a podcast on Elm Street. We are a horror movie podcast where we release new episodes every week on different horror movies. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Mostly Instagram. like that's where you can reach out to us. But check us out. We just dropped an episode on 13 Ghosts. We're going to be dropping a new one on Cabin in the Woods this week. And I don't know what else to say.
Awesome. They're awesome. Follow them.
Thank you.
Listen to them. Like them. Give them a review.
Yeah, do it.
We're kind of like podcast besties.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you like us, go listen to them. Show them some love. For us, the same thing. You can search for us. I'm sure you've found us because we're going to post this. But you can support the show by giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcatcher you're on. And I don't really have a sign off because this is totally random. So we'll see you back for our regular programming somewhere around this episode. I don't even know when we're going to release it. Hope you liked it. Let us know. Okay. Bye.
Bye.